I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars.
Wow, WrestleMania 42 night 1 was bad. It was a total train wreck. Oh my goodness. This show was bad. Bad. And the main event, oh man, oof. The main event was terrible. Just terrible. It stunk up the joint. That thing was bad. Very bad. I do expect there to be quite a few rematches for Backlash, which is going to be in 3 weeks. So I do expect us to probably get Cody Randy 2 at Backlash, Liv Morgan and Stephanie Baker 2 at Backlash. They're still going to be doing Fatu and Drew McIntyre. So we're going to have at least probably 3 or maybe even 4 rematches at Backlash. Probably 4, more than likely. Depending on what goes down for night 2. But we definitely are going to have at least 3 to 4 rematches come Backlash for sure. Especially dealing with this night 1 card. Man, this thing was awful. It was awful. WWE, they lied about the attendance, saying that it was like 50-something in attendance when it really wasn't. It was probably a strong, probably like 42, 43K there, more than likely. We know how WWE loves to fudge the numbers, but it is what it is. Before we get into the review, though, Bianca Belair, a big congratulations to her and Montez Ford. Bianca Belair is pregnant, so she's going to be out again. She probably won't be back until WrestleMania 44. So, big ups to her and Montez Ford. Montez Ford is a blessed man. I am happy for Bianca. And I kind of figured she was going to be pregnant anyway, because it took her forever to walk down that long entrance ramp. And I started to realize, okay, this chick pregnant. This girl pregnant. Which is fine. I mean, it makes sense. So, there's that. All right, so we are going to get into WrestleMania 42 Night 1 from April the 18th, 2026. So, we kicked the show off with John Cena. He came out with a suit on. It looked very nice. And he welcomed us to WrestleMania, so that was cool. I like that. Moving on, this leads us into the first match of the night. This happened on ESPN2. The Usos and LA Knights, they defeat the Division, Logan Paul and IShowSpeed. This match could have taken place on Raw. We still got the same outcome either way. This match was so-so. So LA Knight got the win. He ended up winning the BFT. Then post-match, Logan Paul was pissed off that IShowSpeed lost the match. Logan attacked IShowSpeed. He was about to put him through the table. Then the Usos and LA Knight, they beat up Logan Paul. The Usos hit the 3D, which was not good. It was badly done, poorly done. So then IShowSpeed ended up doing a massive IShowSpeed splash through the announce table, which was great. Got a pretty good reaction from the crowd, and that was it. So, this is fine. I like this. We still could have gotten the same results if this were taking place on like a Monday Night Raw or whatever. We still would have gotten the same outcome. So this is fine. Whatever. All right, moving on from that, this leads us into Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. Fatu wins. This match was very tame, which is fine. And I knew going into this was going to be tame, right? I know people watch AEW. Well, AEW, they do blood and gore and needles and light tubes and all this other shit. And it's like, bruh, this is not AEW, right? What we got here was fine. Fatu winning was the right decision. Fatu ended up winning via the moonsault through the table. Both guys kicked out of each other's finishers. So Jacob ended up doing the moonsault early on in the match. Drew kicked out. Drew had a claymore on Fatu, and he kicked out. There were chairs involved, two boxes involved. Drew ended up using the toolbox. He ended up raking the eyes of Jacob Fatu with a wrench or whatever. So that was pretty cool there. But other than that, this match was so-so. This was fine. Jacob winning was the right decision. Clearly, this thing is not over with yet. They may do a regular one-on-one at Backlash. And then maybe you kind of end the feud in June, which should be Money in the Bank. You end that in maybe like a last man standing or an I Quit match or a steel cage match, something of that magnitude. And you kind of have Jacob win that, win the final match, right? So there's that. But this was fine. This was fine. All right, moving on from that. This leads us into Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair and Brie Bella. So Nikki Bella came out and she introduced saying that she knew a friend of hers and everything else, and it ended up being Paige. And Paige got a massive reaction, so I'm glad that she is back. Her being back with WWE is fine. They probably have had her under contract probably since, I want to say, December. If not December, definitely early January. So, that's fine. So, this match was so-so, if we're being honest. Not too much anything happened. Last Legend had a good showing in the match. Same thing with Nia Jax and everything else. So, Paige and Brie Bella, they ended up defeating Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Last Legend, and Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. So they are now the new women's tag team champions. And that's cool. I like that. That's fine. I know Bayley's pissed because this match didn't go longer than probably 10 or 15 minutes. And it didn't. I think it went about close to 8 minutes maybe. It's fine. It is what it is. It's not that important. So who cares? Again, this is fine. Paige did pretty well in this for the most part. Alexa Bliss taking the pin. Kind of figured that. So it is what it is. The entrances were fine as well too. So, there's that. Moving on. This leads us into Becky Lynch defeating AJ Lee to become the new women's Intercontinental Champion. This match was so-so. So, Becky, her entrance was done by the Wonder Years. Then AJ Lee had a good entrance. She ended up having a bunch of little girls coming out in her attire, which was adorable. And I was thinking, when I first saw that, I was like, okay, AJ Lee's going to win. Because usually whenever you have kids involved in entrances and all that stuff at Mania, usually it means that the babyface is more likely going to win. And it didn't happen here. This match was short. This match went about close to 8 minutes. So, towards the end of the match, Becky, she ended up hitting the manhandle slam. AJ Lee kicked out. AJ ended up hitting the Black Widow. Becky Lynch fought out of that. Becky Lynch ended up using the exposed turnbuckle. I forgot how that came apart. It doesn't matter. She ended up using it. She rammed AJ Lee's head into the exposed steel. She ended up hitting the manhandle slam for the 1, 2, 3, and Becky Lynch is your new women's Intercontinental Champion. Okay, this is fine. Who really cares? This feud should have ended months ago, but who gives a damn? We know they're going to probably continue this going into Backlash, obviously. We need a definitive winner. We need a stipulation of sorts. I would do either a steel cage or maybe a last woman standing match or maybe a I Quit match or whatever, something of that sort. So that's what needs to happen come Backlash. Again, this match was so-so. I didn't really give a fuck about this. All right, moving on from that. This leads us into Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Gunther defeats Seth Rollins with the help of Braun Breaker. They had a little brawl before the match got underway and everything, because for whatever reason, the referee didn't get involved or whatever, because Seth Rollins ended up using a steel chair. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, ref, come on, DQ. But I forgot they were having a little brawl. It lasted about a good 2 to 3 minutes, whatever. Seth Rollins had an okay entrance. Same thing with Gunther. So, Gunther ended up hitting the powerbomb early on in the match. Rollins kicked out of that. Rollins and Gunther, they brawled on the outside and stuff. Seth ended up hitting a stomp through the announce table. The announce table did not break. Gunther solved that well. Seth ended up hitting the curb stomp early on in the match. Gunther kicked out. Rollins got out of the sleeper hold early on in the match as well. Gunther ate a nasty bucket bomb in the match, which was really well done by Seth Rollins. Then, towards the end of the match, Seth Rollins ended up hitting a pedigree on the outside to Gunther. Then, out of nowhere, Braun Breaker shows up. He speared the shit out of Seth Rollins, threw him back into the ring. He got a really good reaction. And then Gunther ended up putting Rollins to sleep with the sleeper hold, and that was all she wrote. And thankfully, Rollins passed out versus tapped out. So I like that finish there. But that sleeper sucks ass. All right? Gunther needs to really apply more pressure when he's doing the sleeper. Like, come on, bro. Like, you got to think of a better way to end your matches. Either end up doing the last symphony that he used to do. This is back when Vince was in charge. It's basically just like a running power slam. Either do that or do like a triple power bomb or whatever, right? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's such a cheesy ass finish to do. Like, it's so lame. Like, we get it, bro. But come on, man. I'm not a fan of Gunther using that sleeper hold. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. I know more people feel kind of like how I do it. It's like Gunther needs to change his finish. He really does, because that shit is not cool. It's boring, man. It's a very boring finish, man. Either do like a triple power bomb, which is fine. That would be pretty cool. Or you end up bringing back the last symphony, which is basically a running power slam, and do that. I don't fucking know. And then moving on from that, the post-match attack, Braun showed up again. He speared Rollins again. And he embraced Paul Heyman. They hugged, and that was it. So I like this. This is great. We should get their match at Backlash, which is fine. That's great. This thing should last about maybe SummerSlam. So you do the first match at Backlash. You continue it Money in the Bank in June. And I'm not sure what their pay-per-view in July is. Maybe it's Night of Champions or something like that or whatever. Maybe you end it there. But I like it. Braun being back fucking rules. So that's great. All right, moving on from that. This leads us into the Hall of Fame introductions, which was great. So AJ Styles showed up towards the end. Stephanie McMahon showed up, and they all got good reactions. So Dennis Rodman was there. Demolition, their families were there, which is great. Bad News Brown's family was there, which is excellent. Jimmy Hart and Nick Hogan, they were there for Hulk. And Sid Vicious family was there as well. So, congrats to everybody who got inducted into the 2026 class of the Hall of Fame. Great stuff there. Love that. Excellent. All right, moving on from that, this leads us into Liv Morgan defeating Stephanie Vacker to become the new Women's World Champion. This match was fucking boring as well. Yeah. So Stephanie ended up hitting the SVB, Liv kicked out. She ended up doing the Devil's Kiss, which was great. She got some cheers with that one. Excellent. Then towards the end of the match, Judgment Day showed up. They got involved. And Stephanie Vacker fought them off, but she succumbed to the numbers. So, Liv ended up hitting the Oblivion. Stephanie Vacker kicked out. Then, Stephanie Vacker took out Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Then Liv threw her into the steel steps, straight back into the ring, ended up hitting a code breaker into the Oblivion for the 1, 2, 3, and that was all she wrote. I'm like, what the hell? So it is what it is. It does not matter. Again, I expect for there to be a rematch going into Backlash, more than likely. This is what's going to happen anyway. It's not going to take place on television. Why would it? You can still extend the feud because Backlash is in 3 weeks, so you got more than enough time to build for it. I expect for them to still tell the story of there being animosity within the Judgment Day. So either we're going to probably get in due time either Raquel turning on Liv or Roxanne turning on Liv. One of the two. They might go ahead and do Roxanne turning on Liv. I think that would be better because it just doesn't seem right to do Raquel and Liv because Raquel's a heel. Well, not just that, but why would you put Raquel in a baby? Well, not in a babyface position, but you could. But it just would seem weird because Raquel's so damn tall and big. So I don't know, but that's what I think is going to happen there. All right, moving on from that, I already mentioned the Bianca Belair being pregnant and everything else, and then the attendance, so there's that, so whatever. Moving on, main event of the evening. Cody Rhodes defeats Randy Orton. He retains the WWE Undisputed Championship. This match was dog shit. I'm not going to hold you guys up. It was dog shit. Pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. I did like Cody's entrance. So Cody's entrance, Cody did, there were like 4 mannequins that had all 4 of his iterations. Cody Rhodes, when he first came into WWE, Cody Rhodes as Dashing Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes as Stardust, and current Cody Rhodes. So that was cool there. Randy had just a traditional entrance, basically, using the 3D Viper. That was pretty okay. All right, so before the match got underway, Pat McAfee got involved. He ended up hitting Cody with the mic. Cody ended up doing the crossroads onto Pat. Then Jelly Roll got involved. He ended up doing an elbow through the announce table. So Pat McAfee ended up getting stretchered out. Then Cody and Randy, they fought some more. Cody ended up embodying Randy Orton by copying his entire moveset. He ended up doing the Orton Stomp and everything else. Randy hit a crossroads. Cody hit an RKO. Randy kicked out. Cody kicked out. Then there was a ref bump. Basically, Orton got pissed. He ended up RKOing the ref. So Randy was about to do the low blow. Cody saw it coming. He ended up doing a low blow of his own. He ended up hitting an RKO. Ref came out, counted 2. No, my bad. Randy hit an RKO. Pat McAfee came out with a neck brace on. He ended up getting a 2 count. So this pissed off Randy. He ended up RKOing Cody. No, he ended up RKOing Pat McAfee, basically. And then they fought some more, basically. For whatever reason, Randy got busted open. I forgot how it happened. I really wasn't even paying attention because I was pissed about as to how bad this match was. So, basically, Randy RKO's Pat McAfee. The minute that happens, Cody hits a crossroads. A new ref comes out. 1, 2, 3. Cody wins. All right, then post-match, Randy Orton punts Cody in the head. Cody's immediately busted open, and Randy stands tall. He drapes the title on top of Cody, and then that was it. I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? This was so dumb. It was retarded. It was ignorant. So, thankfully, Randy and Pat are done. The Pat McAfee thing is done. So, that's great there. But why didn't Randy win? It makes no sense. Randy should have won, right? Randy needed to win. Now, I would imagine they're more than likely going to do another match at Backlash where Randy does win. They end up running it back again in June, which is Money in the Bank, and then that's where their feud kind of concludes, because you got to either conclude this feud either at Money in the Bank or at SummerSlam. But to me, SummerSlam is too long. I would just have this shit be done by Money in the Bank in June, right? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. Like, this was dumb. this was fucking dumb, man. Holy shit, this was dumb. This was bad, man. This was bad, bro. This was one of the worst main events I've seen ever since WWE has done 2-night WrestleManias, right? 2 nights of WrestleMania. Like, this is the worst that they've done, especially for night 1, right? Ugh. And I mean, this has me worried for night 2. Like, this has me worried. It really does, because this shit was bad. This was bad. I don't know, man. I don't know. They've got to get the title off of Cody, and they need to give it to Randy. Randy could keep it for at least a couple months or drop it at SummerSlam to somebody. I don't know who that could be. Maybe you have Randy drop it to Jacob Fatu come SummerSlam or whatever. And maybe you do Cody Jacob after SummerSlam. I don't know, but you got to do something. You got to get this fucking title off of Cody. And this is coming from a Cody fan. I'm a fan of Cody, right? I like Cody. But the booking of Cody has been fucking atrocious. It has been fucking atrocious, man. Damn. Like, this shit was bad, guys. Like, this shit was bad. I watched this match fucking twice. This shit was bad. I watched this shit twice. And it was bad. Oh my gosh. This shit was so fucking bad. I don't know, man. TKO has really ruined WrestleMania. I can honestly say the last real WrestleMania was like, the last real WrestleMania was probably WrestleMania 40. Before that, 39 and 38. I would say from 39 to probably, you could say last year too, because last year was decent because we had Cena still there. So yeah, the last 4 WrestleManias have been decent, right? But this was just awful, man. Just awful. Just not a good look. Not a good look, man. Holy shit, not a good look. All in all, WrestleMania 42 Night 1 was awful. It was a total train wreck and a total waste of time. Just not good, man. Just not good. Again, I expect there to be a lot of rematches going into Backlash, more than likely. And it is what it is. Hopefully, Night 2 can save us. Hopefully, Night 2 can deliver. Because if it doesn't, man, this will go down as one of the worst WrestleManias in the modern era. Like, WrestleMania 42 will basically be the worst WrestleMania in modern history, if we're being honest. Man, Night 1 was fucking awful. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.